Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. This is your Z107.7 local news for Saturday, April 5th, 2025. There are a few things going on all day today in the high des that you may want to be aware of depending on what you're into. First up, the Friends of the Yucca Valley Library are holding another DVD blowout sale where you can get 10 DVDs for a single $1. They're cracking open new boxes of used movies, and this is the best deal in town. Streaming services continue to rise in price while simultaneously removing movies left and right. Rebuild that DVD collection with just a couple dollars. Head down to the Yucca Valley Library today from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and bring a bag and some bucks. All proceeds go back into the Yucca Valley Library special programs. They're located right off Highway 62 and Joshua Lane in Yucca Valley. And while you're there, check out Where Is My Mind, the second piece of public art posted up on the corner of the library parking lot. Then out east near Sunfair Road, there are two big events happening. First is a cleanup and camp out on the dry lake. If you're hearing this over the air, then they're already at it, but you can head out to the dry lake and look for a lot of 4x4s and autos picking up debris that is dumped illegally. They'll be continuing on Sunday too. Check out at Joshua Tree Off-Road or at the Desert Cleanse Project on Instagram for more information. And the Gem and Mineral Show has been happening all week and continues this weekend through Sunday. Located on the Joshua Tree Lake RV and Campground out on 2601 Sunfair Road, the long-running show features dozens of booths and vendors with rocks, fossils, gems, crystals, jewelry, and more. They'll also have food vendors, so show up with an appetite. As always, it's free admission with free parking. That's happening today from 9 to 5 and wrapping up on Sunday from 9 to 4. You can get details on all three of these events on our website, Z107.7fm.com. Nearing its 2-decade existence, the Wonder Valley Experimental Music Festival will be happening once again this Saturday at the Palms starting at 4 o'clock. Reporter Gabriel Hart spoke with event organizer James Allen to let you know what to expect, along with a brief explanation of experimental and noise music.
Experimental music is a general label for any music that pushes the existing boundaries and genre definitions, defined broadly by exploratory sensibilities radically opposed to and questioning of institutionalized compositional, performing, and aesthetic conventions, especially in pop music. These types of explorations can be referred to as outsider, noise, improvisational, and harsh drone music, depending on your well-trained or well-fried ear. The history of experimental music goes from the mid-20th century with John Cage's indeterminacy techniques to Pierre Schaeffer's musique concrète, all the way to the 70s with Brian Eno and his influence on the ambient electronic music and the harsher New York no-wave scene, to the 80s with bands like Throbbing Gristle and Einstürzende Neubauten, all the way to today's excruciating apocalyptic racket of Wolf Eyes and Pharmacon. These days you'll find noise music being performed at makeshift venues and basements all over the world on laptops, synthesizers, and spaghetti-wired daisy-chained guitar pedals for fans who want an even deeper, more inexplicable alternative to underground music. In other words, you'll know it when you hear it. Event organizer James Allen gave Z107.7 a more personal take on this weekend's Wonder Valley Experimental Festival, while giving a more defined idea of what attendees can expect.
For me, this festival is more than an event. It's a platform for growth and creative exploration. It provides a space where sound can exist without predefined structures, immersing the audience in a sonic field that challenges conventional listening experiences. Some performances will be purely immersive, allowing the sound itself to shape the audience's interpretation. Others will have distinct processes, intentional structures, or even clear messages. Ultimately, the festival fosters a boundary-free approach to experimental sound practices. The Palms serves as the perfect venue for this event. Its rich history, desert backdrop, and almost out-of-place presence reflect the very ethos of the music presented. Unconventional, raw, and deeply connected to its surroundings.
For more information on Saturday's festival at the Palms, including the virtual edition where you don't even have to leave your house, please visit wvexperimental.info. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Gabriel Hart.
And speaking of cleanups, there have been multiple community cleanup days around the high des as spring cleaning is in full effect. Many of these are sponsored by the county, such as the one in Landers that took place on March 29th, where the county was collecting bulky items and household junk. Landers Homestead Valley Association President Mike Lipsitz says that the cleanup was a huge success, with residents bringing out old water heaters, mattresses, and hundreds of tires. 4 giant trailers full of over 1,300 used tires were hauled away during the cleanup. Many of them tossed in washes or out in OHV areas. Tires cost extra at the Landers landfill, which is why it's suspected you see so many of them in the desert and on their way to the dump. The tires are making their way to the Mitsubishi plant where they'll be used in their kilns. If you have big, bulky trash items that you can't get to the Landers landfill, don't dump it. There'll continue to be cleanups every few weekends here in the Morongo Basin, and we'll let you know about them as soon as they come up. And if you pay a handy person to haul your trash to the dump, don't be duped by a lazy or unscrupulous dumper. Get receipts so you know that your junk isn't becoming somebody else's problem. The western Joshua tree is the most charismatic species in the Morongo Basin, hands down, but will it survive for future generations to witness the weird and wonderful succulents that dot our desert landscape? A new film being screened tonight explores that question, and Annalise Kuiper joins us with details on the movie's debut, screening tonight in 29 Palms.
The iconic Joshua tree, which is still found in such abundance in the Morongo Basin, is threatened both by the direct influence of the changing climate and by the increase in wildfires and invasive grasses. Join instructor and filmmaker Casey Kiernan for a screening of his latest film, Will Joshua Trees Survive? The film features expert interviews with Dr. Cameron Barrows, Dr. Juniper Harrower, and former Joshua Tree National Park Superintendent David Smith. Not only is Casey Kiernan an extraordinary instructor, but he donates his pay back to the Desert Institute in support of Joshua Tree National Park. Tickets are $5, and by attending this event you will also be contributing to the preservation and education efforts that keep this incredible park thriving. After the screening, the threats to the Joshua tree will be discussed with attendees. Anyone may attend and participate. No expertise is necessary and no park pass is required. This screening, as well as vehicle parking, are ADA accessible. The screening will be held on Saturday, April 5th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. at the Old Schoolhouse, 6760 National Park Drive in 29 Palms. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Annalise Kuiper.
This Sunday, the Landers open-air flea market returns to the Moose Lodge from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., weather permitting, although it looks like it could be a calm one tomorrow. The open-air market will have their usual mix of local vendors and sellers selling homemade and handcrafted goods, and the market's twice-monthly schedule has all sorts of new folks coming out too. Setup is from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., and the vendor spaces are free, but limited to first come, first serve. That's the Landers open-air flea market at the Moose Lodge out at 58266 Ricci Road in luxurious Landers, California, Sunday, starting at 9 a.m. and going to 2. And also on Sunday, artist Ben Allenoff is holding an intergenerational sculpting event that's open to seniors, young adults, and children ages 5 and up. Hosted by Reach Out Morongo Basin, the event is called Art and Aging, and attendees will be making free-form assemblage sculptures from a variety of objects and materials: wood, stone, wire, metal, and textiles. The event is free of charge and all materials will be provided. It's being held tomorrow at the 29 Palms Senior Center at 6539 Adobe Road from 12:30 to 2:30. Sign-ups in advance are encouraged, and you can get more information or sign up by calling Reach Out at 760-361-1410. And if spring has you cleaning inside and out, mark down Tuesday, April 15th as an opportunity to get out into Mojave Desert Land Trust Desert Discovery Garden with a volunteer workday. The nonprofit will need help with various tasks around the Discovery Garden as they prepare for the Morongo Basin Conservation Association's Desert Wise Landscape Tour, taking place later in April. The activities are moderately strenuous and require the ability to kneel or stoop for periods of time, carry heavy objects, and to work outside for long periods of time in warm temps. You can RSVP or get more information by emailing Mackenzie at mdlt.org or visit their website at mdlt.org and click on Volunteer. And that's your local news for Saturday. You can hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source. Reporting out of Joshua Tree, California, alongside the award-winning Z107.7 News team, I'm Robert Hayden.